Oh boy. One thing that I was not expecting this afternoon was the Philadelphia Eagles to get absolutely annihilated and cooked by the Buccaneers and Baker Mayfield. Now, one thing I am going to give Philadelphia the benefit of a doubt is that their offense is going to play a lot better than what they did against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this afternoon. You know, they are down their two top receivers, A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith. You're kind of banged up on the offensive line as well. But this game showed everything that we already should have known about Jalen Hurts. And that is the truth that he's not an elite quarterback. And I would even say Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback. Right now, Jalen Hurts is the definition of what it means to be a mid quarterback in the NFL. You can't elevate the team around you. You can only play at an elite level when you got elite pieces to work with. And Jalen Hurts, with Devonta Smith and A.J. Brown being banged up, he looked completely average against the Buccaneers. He wasn't doing this thing on the ground, only got held to 8 carries, 25 yards. He did have a rushing touchdown, but he didn't make any good throws that much. This didn't look like a quarterback that deserves to be mentioned in the same conversation as Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, and Josh Allen. You know, he's a top 15, top 14 quarterback that he can't elevate the team when you got injuries. You need the perfect situation for Jalen Hurts to completely flourish. You need a high-level offensive coordinator, which Kellen Moore is not. He's an above-average OC, but he's not good enough to help Jalen Hurts play at the level that he was in 2022 when Shane Steichen was the offensive coordinator. And he needs a high-level supporting cast to be an effective high-level quarterback. And that's why he's the definition of mid. Elite quarterbacks have to be able to overcome certain limitations. They should be able to win games despite not having a perfect situation. Jalen Hurts is supposed to be such a great quarterback, but in this game, he got outplayed by Baker Mayfield. This is the second time in the last 2 years that Baker Mayfield has outplayed Jalen Hurts. If you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan, you got to stop defending this dude. He's not elite. He's not good. He's mid. You're down two of your best players on offense. You would think that, yeah, we're down our two top receivers, but we got the great equalizer, which is Jalen Hurts. Look at what Josh Allen is doing down there with the Buffalo Bills. You can't even name one receiver on that damn team. They got some dude named Khalil Shakur that's been going off that I just picked up on my fantasy squad. You got Keon Coleman, but he's not really doing too much right now. Like, Josh Allen is elevating that team. If you're considered to be an elite quarterback, you got to be able to do more with less, especially when you have injuries. When your team is injured, you should be telling yourself, man, we still got a shot to win any game we play because our franchise quarterback is upright and he's behind center. But I look at Jalen Hurts right now and I can do nothing but just shake my damn head because this dude has slowly fallen off from the form that we saw him at in 2022 when he was going toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. He was damn near the MVP that season, man. You change coordinators, that doesn't work. And now you got an offensive line that's giving up 6 sacks. You got a defense that can't stop a fly. I mean, Baker Mayfield was out there looking like he was Tom Brady 2.0 behind center, man. 347 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. This dude was driving the Buccaneers up and down the field with ease, it seemed like. And then for as much talent as what the Eagles have invested in to the defense side of the football, you know, like, it makes no sense why this defense is giving up 28, 30 points per game. It makes no sense why they can't stop the run when you got Jalen Carter, who was a first-round pick last year. Where's he at? You got Nolan Smith. You got all of these great Georgia players, but I don't hear none of them making any plays, having no impact on this defense. What about those 2 outstanding rookie cornerbacks that you drafted? Haven't heard too much about them neither. Where are they at? Why are they part of Philadelphia? Why are they part of the Philadelphia Eagles defense struggling? You got Vic Fangio, who's the highest paid defensive coordinator in the NFL, but this defense can't stop anybody. You can't even stop Baker Mayfield. Are you kidding me? It's time to hit the panic button on the Philadelphia Eagles. You can use injuries as a partial excuse, but it's only a small fraction of what the actual problem is in Philadelphia, which is the coaching. You're just not a well-coached team. What the hell was the point of trading for Jahan Dotson, a former first-round pick, and you only give him 4 targets? And you're down 2 of your top receivers? Isn't he supposed to be your 3rd best receiver on the team? What sense does that make? Saquon Barkley barely did anything in this game. I mean, you should have got him more involved in the passing game, Kellen Moore. The Philadelphia Eagles are frauds. They're not the team that people think they would have been coming into this year. When you look at Philadelphia from just a talent standpoint, you zoom out, you take the on-the-field play out of the factor. From a roster standpoint, this is arguably the most talented team in the NFL. Looking at them with all of the pieces that they have on both sides of the football, this is probably the most complete team in the NFL when you look at them strictly on paper. But we get to these games being played, and they just disappoint damn near every single week. Nick Sirianni is going to get fired after this season. Philly's going to make it to the playoffs because they got a talented enough team to do so, and their schedule is pretty manageable where you can just out-talent certain teams. But once you get into the playoffs, the fraud coaches get exposed because once you get past the wild card round, you're going up against teams that not only have the same amount of talent as what you have, but they are better coached than you. And you got to have more than just an elite roster to make it to the Super Bowl. You got to have a high-end coaching staff. That's why Philly came up short. And they got embarrassed by the Bucs last year in the wild card round because they didn't have a good coaching staff. The coaching staff that they had in 2022, the year they went to the bowl, they had 2 coordinators that are now head coaches right now. And you see, with Nick Sirianni not really specializing in anything, he can't really make any corrections. All he does is manage the morale of the locker room and help just oversee things. He can't really provide any valuable insight to any of his coordinators because he doesn't really know shit about any side of the football for real. And I like Nick Sirianni. You know, he's one of my favorite coaches in the game. I like the fact that he talks trash to the fans. I like the fact that he's a little bit outside of the box from a personality standpoint. But eventually, dude, like you got to coach this team. Even with the injuries, man, you can't be getting annihilated like this by the Buccaneers and Todd Bowles. I promise to you, Todd Bowles is not that good of a coach. He's not. None of the coaches in the NFC South are. This game, even with the injuries, probably should have just been decided by 10 points. I get it. You know, sometimes the injuries are just too much to overcome, like with the Los Angeles Rams. But, I mean, come on, bro. You got Saquon Barkley. You invested all of this first-round capital into all these pieces on defense, and nobody can get a stop when it matters, man. Like, this is a really disturbing loss for Philadelphia because it shows you that this isn't a well-coached team, and they're only getting carried by the talent that they have on the roster. Hire Bill Belichick ASAP. Have you listened to Bill Belichick's podcast? He got a whole podcast. I listen to everything that they drop. This dude, for the way that he breaks down football, the defense side of the ball and the offense side of the football, I don't know how people can say that Tom Brady carried Bill Belichick. Are you kidding me? This dude knows football. He knows literally everything there is to know about the game and the history of it. If you are the Philadelphia Eagles, you would be better off firing Nick Sirianni right now, allow Bill Belichick to be the interim head coach for the rest of the season, and you just might go to the Super Bowl. He could definitely have that defense playing at a high level. That man knows defense. It doesn't matter how much talent he doesn't have on that side of football. One thing that's guaranteed in life is death, taxes, and Bill Belichick coaching the elite defense. With Jalen Carter, Bryce Huff on that squad, Nolan Smith, Bill Belichick will have a damn field day with that defense, man. Bill Belichick needs to be the head coach in Philadelphia right now. I would call Bill Belichick right now, but Sadly, I don't have his number, but if he was offered this Eagles coaching job right now, I'm pretty confident he would take it on the spot. This is an already championship-made team. You just need the right coaching. Nick Sirianni reminds me a lot of Jason Garrett. It's a lot of clapping on the sideline. It's a lot of cheerleading. It's a lot of rah-rah, but how much about football does this dude actually know? I know he knows more than me and a casual fan out there, but this dude has to go. He has to go. You getting embarrassed by the Buccaneers, dog? Crazy.